I got to share a story with you if I can. Do you have the time? Okay, I'm going to tell you. When I was about 18 years old, there, a gentleman, a friend of mine, his name was Sonny Bools. I was living in Pittsburgh, and he drove up in front of my home with an ice cream truck back in 1959. Never seen anything like it before. Didn't know what it was outside with this bell ringing. So Sonny blew his horn, and I came out, and he had my attention for sure. So he was explaining to me about the ice cream business, and there was a gentleman in town that had about like 15 trucks, and he wanted to see if I wanted to come work doing this because it was very, very good money, and it was new back in that time. Tasty Freeze, that custard that we got at the stores and only at the Dairy Queens and places like that. It was a novelty. So I stayed with him for about an hour that evening in his compartment in the truck, and he was serving up cones and milkshakes and sundaes and floats and all the other jimmies and peanuts, and I'm saying, wow, I've never been around this type of environment before. And so I went to the side door and I looked. We had a line of about 35 to 40 people waiting to get service. The product was hot. I knew it was great. Once I seen the 40 people, I couldn't believe how many people were coming out in pajamas and everything just to get this soft serve. So Sonny told me, he said, look, he said, why don't you do this, Amos? Why don't you come out with me tomorrow, and let me see if I can't get you a truck of your own. And so I did, and he did. We met up at the garage, and I went in and filed the application, and the guy was a little bit shaky about having me drive an ice cream truck. And he said, have you ever driven? I said, sure, sir. I said, I moved a warehouse of ammunition and military guns and cannons from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania to Indiana, PA. In 14 days, a whole entire schoolhouse by myself with my helpers helping. I said, I can drive up and down mountainsides. I can double shift. I'm totally familiar, because I've owned a car since the day I got my driver's license at 16. He said, okay. He said, well, he said, do you know anything about how to make these products? I said, piece of cake. I said, piece of cake. I said, I was a florist at one time. I went to florist college. Listen to the opportunity. When I was 14 years old, with a gentleman in Pittsburgh, his name was Leo Spinelli. He taught me how to take the wire shoved up through the stem of a rose, and I could bend that rose anywhere that I wanted. He taught me how to make corsages. He taught me how to decorate fruit baskets. He showed me how to do the churches for the weddings. So I was already kind of, had a little bit of swagger in that field. I said, no problem. I said, sir, Mr. Gordon. I said, Mr. Gordon, I said, you take me out to one of your trucks, you turn the machine on. I guarantee you, I can put 2 curls on the top on that cone, or put 2 curls on the top. I said, I've had preliminary training. My friend Sonny showed me, what to do, how to do it. He said, when did you learn? I said, last night. I rode the truck with him. He said, you want this, don't you? I said, sure, I want the job. I said, it looks like a fantastic job. I said, I'm a good driver, and I'm really good with all types of people from any walk of life, So Mr. Gordon said, well, I don't know. I have to let you know. So I said, okay, fine. That's no problem. I've been on interviews before, not that many, because I've always been like kind of self-employed myself. So I walked out in the garage, and Sonny said, what happened? I said, I talked to Mr. Gordon, and he said that he would be back in touch with me. He said, oh, no. He said, that's not good. I said, what are you saying, Sonny? He said, that's not good. He said, watch this. He said, Dad, Ray, and there was another, Kenny. There were 4 bulls that were driving trucks. Amazing.